This is where passion meets positivity and optimism. In a world where bad news abounds, You Are Solid Gold with Michele Lau celebrates the good in our lives and the beauty in the hidden gems around us. Welcome to You Are Solid Gold. Here she is, international television host and QVC jewelry expert, Michele Lau.
It's great to see you. I'm Michele Lau, if you're just stopping in for the first time, and this is You Are Solid Gold. Well, if you know me at all, you know that as a Sagittarian, I love to travel. And so when I had a chance to join my sister and my nephew down in Destin, Florida for a long weekend, I jumped on it. I had heard about the beautiful white sand, and I just couldn't wait to get in that water. So over the course of the next little bit, you're going to learn a lot about Destin. I learned a lot about Destin's solid gold history, about places to stay, met a lot of solid gold people, and just overall had a wonderful time. Destin historically dates back to the 7th century AD. I mean, the American Indians lived there. They survived off of the great seafood that's in the area, and I can attest to that. It's really, really a wonderful place for seafood if you love it. The Spanish explorers, they were there about 900 years ago, and divers are still finding wrecks, and snorkelers and scuba divers have really been enjoying that, getting to see the old ships in the area. Destin traces its history back to a fisherman. His name was Leonard Destin. He moved from New London, Connecticut, and he settled in Northwest Florida in the 1840s. For decades, he and his descendants, they fished the area, and they used the channel, the only channel actually, between the Gulf of Mexico and Panama City and Pensacola. It's called Destin's East Pass, and it's still a great place to go fishing. I mean, fishermen, they would fish really close to the shores. They would use small boats, which were called yawls, which sounded very Southern to me. I don't know if that's actually where that came from, but the small boats are called yawls, and they operated them with oars. So fishing, then was very different than the fishing now in Destin. The oldest Seine fishing boat still in existence is on display in Destin. It's called the Primrose, and it's a 1920s era boat. It's restored. It's on display at Destin's History and Fishing Museum, and the museum is a really cool place. There's a lot of wonderful things to see, and it's a good place to take the family. So in case you want more information on it, I'll put a link in the show notes. What I thought was cool about the museum is it shows really the evolution of fishing in the area, methods used by the early Indians, the introduction of rods and reels, eventually the largest charter fishing fleet in the state of Florida, which is what it is now. So definitely, if you know a fisherman, if you are a fisherwoman or a fisherman, or you just love the whole idea of exploring an area that is so full of history and relating to the water, go check it out. It's really something. But Destin is no longer just a small fishing village. I mean, we're still discovering what brings people to the harbor and the shores year after year. My family loves it there. I had just never been able to join them before, and it was really a great experience. The beautiful white beaches, the emerald green waters, super friendly people. We made so many good friends, and there's so many choices, whether it's choices in eating or sightseeing, or maybe you want to try your luck at the world's luckiest fishing village, which is the nickname for Destin. But I want to talk about the sand for a minute, because that's what I'm all about. I wanted to get in the water, and most of this episode is going to be talking about different things that you can do to play in the water. The beautiful white sand beaches sit along those emerald green waters of the Gulf of Mexico, and it's sand unlike anything I've experienced before. And I like to think of myself as somewhat of a sand expert, but what makes it so unique is it's so white and it's so pure. It's actually made up of small quartz particles. So when I heard that, this girl got very excited, of course, because my affinity for everything jewelry. So the idea of being able to lay for a few days on a quartz beach was just heavenly to me. So the sand actually comes from a process involving the Appalachian Mountains and the Apalachicola River. And it started about 20,000 years ago. At the end of the last ice age, when the world temperature started to warm up and the ice caps started melting, there was a large volume of water that was carried by the rivers to the oceans. And so the Apalachicola River rose into the Appalachian Mountains and it carried water to the Gulf of Mexico. And it still does today. So the water carries quartz particles, literal gemstone material, which is cool, from the rock that forms the mountains. And it deposits them into the Gulf. And it's only 125 miles east of what is now Destin. As the sea levels begin to rise, the quartz sands perpetually form the new shoreline. So the sands today continually replenish. They reach as far west as the Pensacola Pass. And I'm telling you what, these beaches are something really, really special. You deserve to go see them. So go check them out. There's so much more to do, though, other than the beach. As much as I love the beach, we're going to talk a little bit about shopping. There's tons of specialty shops. The malls are convenient and they're expansive. Lots of shopping to do. The t-shirt shops are really quite a bargain. We found a place where it was so inexpensive. I couldn't believe it. Usually you expect, that you're going to have to pay a little bit more in a touristy area, but really wasn't the case at the store that we found. It was called Paradise Found. And it was Paradise Found. It's on Miramar Beach. And I recommend it. My nephew looked great in his Stay Salty tee. And for your convenience, again, I'll put the location in the show notes if you want to go check it out. But it was really, really fun. Everything was great about it. I mean, great dining. There's golfing galore. I love that. Water parks, mini golf, go-karts for the kids and for the adults too. And just a whole lot more. I mean, Destin pulls you in. You're going to be right in the heart of the action of that area when you go to Destin. I think you're going to enjoy it. I mean, there's just so many reasons to love it. Well, fresh off the plane, when I did fly down to meet my sister and my nephew, it was lunchtime, and man, was I in luck. Just a very short drive from the airport along Highway 98 is a world famous restaurant called McGuire's Irish Pub. Yeah, it didn't take me long to get into an Irish pub. Love the food. It's right in the Destin Harbor, and the pub is a great place to get authentic and delicious Irish meals. I had something that I just love. Have you guys ever had Irish boxy potatoes? The boxty potatoes are like, it's a garlic mashed potato and cheddar cheese ball that is rolled in like a spicy breadcrumb, and it's flash fried. So it's not heavy and greasy, but it's really crispy. They're so good. It's ridiculous. And they had like a horseradish and guacamole dipping sauce. I'll tell you what, I liked it so well that I pulled over one of our servers and I asked her about the recipe, and guess what? I got it. Yep. So I'm willing to share because that's how I am. If you guys would like the recipe for the Irish boxty potatoes, just send me an email at hello@youaresolidgold.com. That's hello@youaresolidgold.com. And I would be happy to share my recipe. I can't wait to try them. We just got home, so I haven't even tried them yet, but I'll tell you what, if they're half as good as they were in the restaurant, I am so in. Now, if you want to try a view of the harbor, and we should have probably ran up there and at least taken a look, but I was asking around, but it's just steps upstairs and they've got another, I think they said 150 seats up there. What was really cool about it, we were right in between lunch and dinner. So they didn't have live music, which is why we didn't go up there, but they do have live music a lot up on the deck. It's a great place to enjoy dinner, enjoy the nightlife. They get some of the best bands in Destin there, and they're open till 2 a.m. every day of the week. So, oh, you know what else is really yummy? Besides the boxty potatoes, which I loved, they had pretzels, I swear, as big as your head. So anyway, I was into carbs that day, but we got all carved up. And then we were going to take off again to get to the resort. Oh, one more thing I wanted to talk about as far as the restaurant went, which was really cool. McGuire's had some really fun traditions. When you go to McGuire's for the first time, you're supposed to staple a dollar bill to the wall or the ceiling of the restaurant. See, we were told by the waitress that there was over 1 million $1 bills in that restaurant. Isn't that something? I mean, they were everywhere. But the story goes that when Molly McGuire received her first tip working at the restaurant, she tacked it up behind the bar for good luck. And other patrons, they add to it whenever they come. And now it's a McGuire's tradition. They also, I almost ran into this, but they also recommend that you kiss the moose as a first-time visitor. Who's moose, you ask? Well, moose is actually a stuffed moose. It's up on the wall, and special guests are encouraged to kiss this large stuffed moose on the nose. It's mounted near the music stage. So I love McGuire's. It was fun. It was a great way to kick off my vacation. It's known as a steakhouse. And the Irish food is great, but whether you're coming for the food or the entertainment, I mean, everything about it is fantastic, especially those boxedy Irish potatoes. Loved it. So again, heading to the resort, jumping in the car, you have to go across the bridge. There's one way in, one way out. And the bridge was really fun because it got me in the mood. Everywhere you look, left and right, you see, as far as you can see, boats everywhere. I mean, every kind of boat you can imagine. It's definitely a water town. It's definitely a boating town. The color of the water was just breathtaking. We had planned to go to Destin because my nephew was going to a tennis camp. And so we wanted something really close to the tennis camp just for convenience. My sister found a place through a realtor and we rented it called the Seascape Resort. It was just perfect. I mean, we could literally take 20 steps to the tennis court, which was great. We were able to do a short-term condo rental, and it had a private pool. One of the things I noticed I thought was so funny is they had really weird, this is just for fun, just a little nugget. They had really weird speed signs. The speed sign in the community was 17 miles an hour. I don't know why, but 17 was the magic number. I also saw a 29, so take that for what it's worth, but I thought it was kind of funny. It's a gorgeous property, really pretty grounds. And in fact, the Club Wyndham Majestic Sun is also located there. These are spacious 1 and 2 bedroom resort suites, and they sleep 4 to 6 people. They are not expensive, especially for what you get. The amenities are really something. I think you're going to appreciate it. They have full kitchens. They have convenience of a washer dryer in each suite. Plus they've got whirlpool tubs, full dining room, the TVs throughout, all the comforts that you wouldn't find in an average hotel room you find here. And the Club Wyndham, which I would expect from a Wyndham property. It's really awesome. But one of the best parts, I thought, were the pools. They have 5 pools, some indoor, some outdoor. I even saw one that was indoor and outdoor. And they have 2 outdoor hot tubs as well. So you can kind of really, chill out and relax a little bit. But you know me, I wanted to see the beach, that snow white beach that I had heard so much about, made out of quartz, right? I had to see it. I had to get my toes in the sand. So it was even better than I expected. I mean, we crossed over the beach boardwalk, which wasn't too long of a walk at all. When you look out from the swimming pool in the Wyndham, you can see it right across the street. So you just cross the street, go down the boardwalk, and the water is beautiful. I mean, I was so in my happy place. I could have sat there all night long. It was fantastic. And I wasn't the only one who was feeling all warm and fuzzy. Right next to us when we were there, enjoying the weather and the breeze and just all the goodies there at the beach, there was a couple that got engaged. I swear, like 50 feet from where we were sitting. So that was fun. The whole beach just exploded in applause and cheered them on. And in fact, behind us, from the balcony of the Majestic Sun, their whole family was lined up. So they had snuck in the entire family and everybody was celebrating. And it was really a nice way to sort of close down that first day. Again, I'll put the link to the resort in the notes. If you're interested in Seascape, I recommend it. Where we stayed was perfect for us. Next time I would like to go and stay at the Wyndham property, but it's all good. And it's just so pretty with all the golf courses and all the pools and everything that it has to offer. It's a really good value. Speaking of good value, I wanted something like for dinner that was really like local, right? I mean, I don't see the point of going to a lot of chains unless, you've got somebody that has really specific dietary needs when you're on vacation. I like to try out the local places. So we went to Dewey Destin's for dinner, and the Destin family and Destin, Florida are really intertwined historically in the area, which is why we wanted to go there. Since Dewey's great-great-grandfather, Leonard Destin, who we talked about earlier in the episode, founded the town in the early 1800s, this family, again, is just so intertwined. So we went up on the patio that overlooked the water. There's a number of different ways that you can be seated, so everybody's comfortable, but we loved it there. They're known for their seafood. Everybody raves about their oysters. And oh my gosh, the rum runner's so good. So it was just, again, just the perfect way to toast being away and to really enjoying Destin. I definitely recommend getting yourself a rum runner, and you can even get it in a non-alcoholic way if you choose. The crab legs looked really good. They kind of walked by me. I thought next time I'm in. But they use the original Destin and Gulf Coast recipes, and they're super casual. So very friendly. Oh my gosh, the staff was so nice, so friendly. Definitely recommend it. It was a great place to go. But my nephew was there for the tennis, right? So the next day we watched him play the Destin Tennis Club at Seascape. has been ranked as a 5-star tennis resort in the United States. I mean, these guys know what they're doing. They have a professional tennis staff. They have the most extensive instructional program in the whole Southeast. So if you're looking for a place to either learn to play tennis or to get really great at your tennis game, it's a good place to go. The gentleman that runs it, his name is Fernando Guarachi, and his wife's name is Holly. And they've organized an award-winning tennis program at the Destin Tennis Club at Seascape. They have a lot of exciting programs there for all different levels of expertise. So don't be intimidated. People come to coach and play from all over the world, which is really fun to see and to hear the different accents and the different languages and everything that was going on. Fernando, who I mentioned before, he's actually the director of tennis, and he's a longtime certified member of the United States Professional Tennis Association. He was born and raised in Santiago, Chile. He started playing tennis when he was 10 years old, if you can imagine. And he brings just a wealth of coaching and winning management experience to that program. He's really, the heart of it. He and his wife, Holly. He and Holly, they've coached a lot of international, national, sectional, regional junior players, even some folks that have been able to move up professionally and to compete in colleges in the US. A lot have gotten tennis scholarships under their tutelage. So again, if you want really to improve your game and take your game to a different level, they're a great club to do that. Their daughter, Alexa, played mixed doubles actually against Serena Williams and Andy Murray on center court in the 2019 Wimbledon. So they definitely know what they got going on. I mean, in my opinion, these people are solid gold. I mean, they organize one of the most successful tennis and golf fundraising events in Northwest Florida to raise funds and awareness that benefit kids and adults with mental and physical disabilities. And they also focus on Down syndrome. So not only are they, doing a great job teaching the youth and maybe not so young of the world to play a great game of tennis, but they also give a lot back to the community, which I really respect. So they definitely are solid gold. If you're interested in learning more about their tennis camps, again, I'll add their website to the episode's notes so that you can reach out to them personally. Well, it was time again to hit the beach. You know how it is. After watching Brady play tennis for a while, I was ready to take a dip. So we headed over to Santa Rosa Beach, which is a really cool place. There's a 26-mile stretch of Northwest Florida's Emerald Coast. Santa Rosa Beach is one of the 16 distinct beach neighborhoods in South Walton County. Each has its own traditions. Each has its own visual style. I mean, you could really see it and you could see the differences. They're very charming. The community of Santa Rosa Beach gives you a lot of luxury beach houses. There's a lot of upscale dining. And there's this really unique little artist colony, which is known as Golf Place. So my little ears perked up when I heard that and we had to see it. I mean, geographically, it's the largest beach neighborhood in South Walton. So Santa Rosa Beach gives you an incredible amount of diversity. In fact, the magazine Travel and Leisure actually named Santa Rosa Beach one of its top 5 favorite towns in America. So we had to go. I had to go check it out. Plus, we were headed to the Rags to Riches Regatta. So as we were heading down Santa Rosa Beach to the Rags to Riches Regatta, we saw street art everywhere we looked. I mean, it was eclectic. There were street vendors, there was music, and again, art everywhere. Even the ice cream trucks had not only musical flair, but had a lot of artistic flair, which was cool. The beach neighborhood is bustling with activity, but it's also full of history. So Santa Rosa and the whole area originally was founded in 1910 along Hogtown Bayou. Santa Rosa is home to the historic community of Point Washington, are also known as the quiet community on the bay. And here is where you're going to find the Wesley Mansion. If anybody out there is looking for a wedding venue, it was built in the 1890s. I mean, it would be just the perfect wedding venue. A lot of people do get married there, and the area is known now as the Eden Gardens State Park. So if you love food, this is a great area for you. Again, the seafood, the sushi, they even have some really cool Mexican restaurants. I noticed there was more there than a lot of the other areas that we saw. And they had some rustic Italian. I mean, there's literally something for everybody there. Santa Rosa Beach is also home to 2 craft breweries. There is the Grayton Beer Company, who we'll talk about a little bit later, and the Ideal Hounds Brewing Company for a truly local taste of South Walton. An important part of the quiet community on the bay is Point Washington State Forest, which covers more than 15,100 acres. Nature lovers can really escape. If you want a quieter solitude, you head on over to Point Washington State Forest. It was really quiet, really serene, and again, really beautiful. But we weren't in the mood for that. We came down there to see the Rags to Riches Regatta that day. And oh my gosh, we were excited to see it. The history dates back 40 years to 1981. There was a group of sailors at Grayton Beach who made plans for a little competition, and they wanted to have it on Independence Day, on the 4th of July. So back then, each captain contributed a buy-in fee, but the price wasn't the pot. The prize was the bragging rights among friends. You got a cool t-shirt, you got an ice cold beer at the finish line, and it was a lot of fun. In fact, let me introduce you to one of the captains of this year's regatta.
My name's Ben Bricken.
And are you the captain?
I'm the captain.
All right, tell me about the race.
So tons of fun. It's about 5 miles in all, and I think fun is the spirit of it. But maybe I'm saying that because we were 6th place for finishing.
So what's Rags to Riches about?
It is about coming out with a borrowed boat like this one here, and then hopefully taking home the 1st place prize, which apparently there's some prize money today.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there's also beer and lots of fun, right?
Exactly.
All right, that's what I'm here for. The tradition continues as 30A locals and visitors gather to cheer on their teams and navigate the 16-foot Hobie Cats in the race from Grayton Beach, originally known as the Rags side of town, to Seagrove, then known as the Riches neighborhood. All the while, they're raising money to support the South Walton Artificial Reef Association. Here's another word from one of the captains.
I'm Scott Boone, and Rags to Riches started 40 years ago, and it's been going on. It's a local tradition, and every year, the history behind it is the Rags was Grayton and the Riches was Seagrove, and so you race to the Riches, you come back, and we're obviously in the Rags today.
And everybody's friendly, right?
Exactly.
Right.
All right. Yeah. Well, thank you for having us today. We had a great time with you, and we'll see you next year.
All right.
Thank you.
The 2021 Rags to Riches Regatta is sponsored by a great group of local businesses, including the Grayson Beach Beer Company that lent their boat to the captains that you just heard from. The Berkshire Hathaway Home Services team was there too, in force and in full support of the event. Thank you, guys. But my vote for the most beautiful sailboat in the race and for the prettiest little mermaid, well, let me introduce you to Coco, both the boat and the little girl. Her daddy named the sailboat after her, and they were the sweetest and most loving family. Besides the crowd and the fun, there was an award ceremony, a raffle, a silent auction, food, music, and a really cute t-shirt as well. My nephew Brady, my sister Amy, and I enjoyed the day and learned a very good golden nugget for you. As we were out there bouncing around in the water, a gentleman came over and kindly reminded us that the red flag means riptide and hazardous swimming. So we left a little red-faced, but I thought I would pass that along as my public service announcement for you. Well, after the beach, who couldn't use a little treat, right? So I want to recommend, as you're planning your day, that you head on over to Mrs. Fields Cookies. It's always a good time to go to Mrs. Fields Cookies, right? We needed a sweet treat after all that salty. So stop at the Silver Sands Premium Outlets, not only for outlet shopping, but also for these yummy, yummy, yummy cookies. They have over 100 different kinds of cookies, I found out. You can purchase them in bite-size and full cookie-size portions, and they have cookie cupcakes, and well, we got the slabs and the cookies. All I can say is they can decorate them for any occasion, and I love me an outlet mall. But you know what? The best was yet to come. The next morning, my sister had planned a little trip to the Harbor Walk Village. So many things to do in Destin, Florida, but the Harborside Village is at the center of everything. Harbor Walk Village is home to the Destin fishing fleet. Again, as I mentioned, the largest charter fishing fleet in the country. Here you can experience the world's luckiest fishing village aboard one of Destin's finest charter boats. You can also take a walk along the docks, which we did. And, you can even check out what the catch of the day is at the different restaurants. But it's just such a charming area. I mean, there's lots of color. There was great people. And, the waterfront shopping wasn't bad either. We're also told there's a lot of concerts, live music, weekly fireworks. They were talking about Fat Tuesday, which is always fun. I guess they do it every week. Live entertainment, and Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville was there, and also Harry T's. So just tons of fun to be had. We spotted, as we were walking along the boardwalk, this snorkeling and dolphin watch cruise. It was called the Sea Blaster. And we decided, why not? We had our bathing suits on. Why not give it a try? So they also had free beer and free wine and soda and water. And who doesn't love a boat ride on a hot day? So we jumped on board. It was a 73-foot United States Coast Guard approved custom built boat. I mean, these are the Gulf's largest speedboats. They are made to and approved to carry more than 100 passengers. This was not a small little boat ride, okay? It was really, really fun. And the cruises are family friendly. They give you different adventures. You can go snorkeling. They have the dolphin cruise, combination trips, which is what we did. And it was really fun. I even got to drive the boat. Can you believe it? It was great. They also have afternoon beach dolphin cruises, sunset dolphin cruises, and the Destin Harbor firework cruises too, if you're going down there for a holiday. They have snorkel gear for even the littlest Aquaman. I was a little concerned when I saw all the tiny children, and then I realized that we were going to be going to a really easy place to go snorkeling. There were areas where, it was ankle deep, and there were areas where you could go deep if you wanted to. So it really, truly was great for everybody. Fun-loving, friendly crew who seemed to really love their job. I'm not kidding. They were having a great time. And as we pulled away, we could see that the pier had really picked up. I mean, it was bustling with activity. We went on a morning cruise, but it was super busy right from the morning. There was a lot of color. It was buzzing with energy, and people were doing all kinds of things. I mean, they were renting paddle boards and kayaks, pontoons for rent, jet ski rentals. I saw parasailing. There was a cool glass bottom boat, world-class fishing, which I mentioned, but then I saw the pirate ship. Yes, my Buccaneers pirate ship excursion. That looked like fun. I want to try that down there next time. I've done it in Tampa Bay, and it looked like a great time. And then, of course, the dolphin cruise is like what we were on. But meanwhile, back in the party boat, the music was rocking. The captain kept us entertained. He was really funny. In fact, the whole crew was really hilarious. We had a great time with them. And they took us snorkeling by the rocks. Again, from shallow to deep, it's all ages and it's all levels. After snorkeling, that's when they opened up the bar. And that was fun. Sunshine, laughing, drinks, dolphins. I mean, lots and lots and lots of dolphins. I don't see how you could go wrong. So then it was time to head back to the harbor. I want to thank you, Destin, and all the people that we met along the way. We made some wonderful friends there. You all made us feel so at home. And I say cheers to Destin. We can't wait to go back. You truly are a solid gold destination. Until next time, everybody, stay safe and keep shining.
Thank you for joining us on You Are Solid Gold. We hope that you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. Would you please subscribe, like, and share this episode? If you know of a person, place, or thing that is a hidden gem that we should feature on Solid Gold with Michele Lau, please submit it for consideration at hello@youaresolidgold.com. Now, get out there and shine.